Hey guys, it's Red X and today I'm playing Remains of Edith. Or whatever. I'd like to get off of my seat.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
I'm gonna be playing this a long time, so guys, make sure
I lived here until I was
that
11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
make sure you leave a like on this video if you want more of these, because I like this game already.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
That's awesome.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Maybe the house?
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
So where I was, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that bell button so when you know
The truth
when I
is,
post videos for.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Let's go talk.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something but never do.
See basketball on that? No basketball on that? Kinda freaky.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Who would
Now,
buy a house
as a
that way?
17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
I'm 17. And a girl? Oh. Jurassic Park, you like...
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
They got one of those awesome chair things. Back, maybe? You want me to go through the kitty door? Can I go through the kitty door? Dog door or whatever? I
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
That looked pretty easy.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
It's actually pretty right in here. Sorry when I'm coughing, I'm not good.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
What happened? Books.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
What's with the smile? Can I write this? No, I can't.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin. The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
It's hard to follow up in this game.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
What is with your friends? She was only 10. What? Bruh. Okay.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Can I have that crown? I want a crown. Can I have the crown?
From the
please?
paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Sorry about
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
She caught a jellyfish.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
It's gonna eat.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Are these drop-ins? I'm just gonna eat a goldfish.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Why would you eat a goldfish? They're not edible. Anything's edible. It's just going to be very hard to get down your mouth.
I kept eating and eating.
Just eat toothpaste.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window.
She's gonna eat a bird.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
She's gonna fall.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
What happened to this game?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. I jumped and I almost got her.
You write some weird stuff in your diary. Most girls write about their day or like not turning into a cat. Boy.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
No wonder it's a bird.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Absolute savage right here. She's gonna go after the mama bird. I don't understand how you jump. Ah, okay, now I understand how you jump. But why is this girl a bird?
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Nibble, nibble, that's my cue.
Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Gobble, gobble.
Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Can't you just like ask your mom for mac and cheese, not eat a full bunny?
A mama rabbit.
I'm too fast.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
What's wrong with this game?
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
I'm stuck. The controls are so hard for this game.
Tasted really good.
This girl's gonna be a serial killer. Serial killer. So what you dream about? Oh, being a shark. Eating a bird. Oh, that's good stuff, because you didn't send me. You didn't give me any dinner.
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Squid.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
His belly was rusty.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
It's gonna be yourself.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
It's gonna be poop.
I got closer and closer.
I told you it's gonna be her.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But
What? What?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
So is it under the
I can't
bed?
describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
It's gonna be that caterpillar.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Oh, I thought that was the gerbil. I'm like, yeah, perfect.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Okay. She got that television.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
She got a Nintendo.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
My friend Bigfoot?
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
She's got some nice hats.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh, she's sealed. Thing with the dot.
Great-grandma had always been the family's biggest fan.
Right. Ah. Oh, it's a rubber duck. It's a rubber duck. Where am I supposed to go now? I was thinking.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Help! You got a lot of books. Perfume. Why is there a frog in the bathroom? Standing on the toilet.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's awesome.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
How do you stop?
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Okay, what am I supposed to do? Just keep swinging? I feel like I should do that. I feel like it's gonna break off, he's gonna fall down the mountain. He's gonna slip near the mountain, he's gonna play it off, move back up into the water, but miss.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Space gun.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Alright, I just did I yeah, I can't push the trigger.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
There's a lot of secret passages in this house.
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
Really?
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Bellies.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
But guys, I think this is where I'm gonna leave it off now. And if you guys smash this video, I might make this a live stream and just keep playing this, because in my opinion, I love this. This game is awesome. People who made it, congratulations. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.